Okay, so yesterday I announced the new Snapdragon chipset, their semi-flagship chipset, their 870, the Snapdragon chipset. Today, MediaTek, they're announcing their quote-unquote flagship chipset for this year, pretty much. It's an update to their Dimensity 1000. So this is the 1200 mobile chipset. They also launched a kind of like an 870 to the 888 chipset of the Snapdragon version, which is the 1100 Dimensity chipset. So I think this 1000 or 1100 Dimensity chipset would be for or I'll call them mini or semi-flagship smartphones. So this lineup is good. The company is finding ways to get more into the high-end smartphone world without compromising on quality. So they are trying to have this available on most gear, most phones out there. It's something that they are quickly working on to get it out to the market. So the Dimensity 1200 has been built on a 6 nanometer process. The chipset has a power of an octa-core setup. It's able to power a 200 megapixel camera, like from what they are saying here. The chipset also has the ability to support their new sub-6 5G modem, which is quite good. Honestly, its only major selling feature is that it can power cameras that are up to 200 megapixel. I don't know how that translates into real world usage, but it is something they are saying that it can do, as well as quad HD screens that have refresh rates more than 90 hertz as well. They even said it could power resolutions up to, that's the refresh rate, up to 168 hertz. It's going to be able to support the latest Bluetooth 5.2. Now the Dimensity 1100 is similar but a much lower the GPU performance overall. This chipset is still built on the same 6 nanometer process. It still supports 5G modem, but the specs are not as good as the 1200. Can only power cameras that are up to 108 megapixel. So that's pretty much what you can expect from this particular chipset. Expect brands like Xiaomi, Realme, Oppo, Vivo, and so many of these Chinese brands to make use of this chipset. It is mostly what they will use. The Dimensity 1000 was the flagship for last year. The 1200 is something that they are replacing that model with this year to compete with the Snapdragon 8888. And I don't think it's bad, because as they're releasing the 1200 to compete with the 888, they're also releasing the 1100 to compete with the 870, which is a smart business move, if you ask me, because if you can compete, it's a good thing. This MediaTek, they are pretty much like the AMD to the Intel. Snapdragon is the Intel. Qualcomm is the Intel. Intel is very popular. AMD is very niched down. The same is applicable to MediaTek, to the Qualcomm brand. But we'll see the phones that will get this chipset and how they perform. There are no speed test comparison between the 1200 and the 888 Snapdragon, but I expect the 888 Snapdragon to be more powerful than this chipset, regardless of the fact that the MediaTek 1200 is still a flagship. Okay guys, that is the news right now. Please make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Do like our content, follow our social media. I'm going to see you guys next time.